What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nikki with another Reprogram Your Thinking video where I want to cause you to think about what you're allowing to dwell in your spirit. Now, let me take a sip of water so that we can get ready to discuss the living water, which brings life with every drop and with every sip. It renews the soul. So, guys, I want to talk about something that I believe is a very interesting topic because I believe it will touch the hearts and the wallets of my listeners. And today I want to talk about the incredible power of God to make you rich. Now, I've discussed this on my podcast before. I was watching a video, and it's called shout out to, I forgot the name. I think it's Smart Theology. I'm not sure. I don't know. I forgot the name of the channel, but he was speaking on another young lady who has a podcast, and it's called the Relatable Podcast, and he was kind of talking about something in regards to prosperity and why he asked the question, and the young ladies were posing the question, why do black people gravitate to the prosperity gospel? But I'm not going to get into that. I just want to explore prosperity in its entirety. So, because when I got ready to do this video, I thought about it. I said prosperity is important to us, and we think about prosperity a lot, and we want to be financially stable. But I want to talk about something on a different scale. And today I want to start off, because I think I'm going to really make this a series. I want to start off talking about the power of God to make you rich. So, before we get into that, guys, I want to do the holy hot take for today. And guys, oh my God. Husband says I can't have dinner because I served family first. Well, the title is entitled, the article was entitled, Husband refuses to let his 6-month pregnant wife eat a burger because she served their kids first. Now, as the story goes, the husband decided to grill, and he was grilling burgers, and she took the kids their food. She was getting the kids' food prepared, and he said, no, make your plate first. She didn't do that. So when it came time for her to make her plate, he told her, there's no burgers for you. All of the burgers, the rest of the burgers were for just him and the kids. Now, after she told this story, she gave an update. She said this is her update. She said that, for those with the questions, despite my husband's comment, he was not stopping me from eating. She went on to say there was enough for us all to have seconds. I chose to walk away. I was serving the kids first because I wanted some peace while eating my food that would hopefully be warm and not cold. But then she went on to say, earlier in the day, my husband had a reaction to something and had taken antihistamines. And he insisted on making dinner. So when he was grilling, she told him that she would serve, the family, that he could just sit down and take a break. And he told her, no, he got it. But she decided to do her own thing and still, try to help him serve. So they went on and had an argument. And he commenced to telling her that she couldn't have anything to eat. But then she said apparently he apologized later. And she said she appreciated those who offered support. Now, in hearing the update, when I was first reading the story, I got a little triggered. And then I was like, when I kept reading and then I got to the update, I was like, what can you say, in defense of her feeling as though, he apologized. She told, what she felt like it really stemmed from, because obviously they had another conversation. Now, I've heard, conversations being had, and I've heard women say, that they serve their husbands before they serve the kids because that's how it goes. Now, in Colossians 3:18, it says, wives, submit to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Now, and then it says, fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. Now, that just gave a godly rundown of the hierarchy of the family. Now, I feel like he stepped out of line because he decided to tell her she couldn't eat. She goes on to give her explanation and says she could have eaten and she should have just taken the burger off the tray instead of walking away. Because in the article, she said when she walked away from the argument, he came in the room where she was and told her it was her fault and she ruined dinner. So I feel like he already went wrong with the harsh treatment. First of all, she's pregnant and she was eating for two, and he decided to let her walk away without eating at night. Then she said she went on in the update to say, tonight I am treating myself. So in that, my holy hot take is this. We can't get triggered every time we see a story and it seems like a woman is being mistreated by her husband. Because if we're in our right mind and we understand, and if we feel like we're doing right and keeping the peace and deciding to handle things the way that we see fit, and then we decide to go public and tell the story. Now, she put it in a nice way, but I guess she got so many comments that were like really harsh, and she, really seemed like she was coming to his defense. So my holy hot take is we probably need to, tend our own business when it comes to relationships, because people, if they're not led by God, they're led by themselves, and they're going to handle their household the way that they see fit. And it's not up to us to tell them how they should handle, running their household. It's just up to us to pray that they're making the best decisions to create a healthy and thriving environment for the children and for themselves, most of all. And with that, you put God first, and I think everything will fall into place. So let's get into what I really want to talk about today. That's my holy hot take for today, just to break the ice. Now, people are drawn to the prosperity gospel because it offers a tantalizing promise that faith can lead to wealth, health, and happiness. Now, I told you happiness is really momentary. It's just for a moment. It's not going to, sometimes it just doesn't last. You want joy. You want unspeakable joy. And in a world filled with uncertainty, hold on a second, guys. And in a world, hold on for a second, guys. I'm sorry. In a world filled with uncertainty and struggle, this message resonates deeply, providing hope and a sense of control over one's circumstances. The allure of tangible rewards for spiritual devotion creates a powerful appeal, making believers feel that their faith can directly influence their lives for the better. Plus, the charismatic leaders and uplifting communities surrounding prosperity teachings create an environment where dreams of abundance feel not only possible, but attainable. In short, it's a compelling blend of hope, empowerment, and the desire for a better life that keeps people coming back for more. So, I kind of answered, the question of why do black people gravitate to the prosperity gospel. But that's not really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about God is the only one who has power to make us rich. And like I said, if you feel like tangible rewards is a good reason to have a spiritual devotion to God, then you're going to fail anyway. That's already a red flag. That's already a problem. Now, I know that people love to seek proof. They want proof. We talked about yesterday in Sunday school about Google. And when you hear something and then you go Google it, you do your research. Now, Google is great. The internet is great. The problem is sometimes you do find yourself going down a rabbit hole when it's pertaining to the word of God. The teacher yesterday in Sunday school, he was like, keep it simple. And I love that he said that because it's so important. Because when I started doing these videos, I always was trying to figure out a way to make it entertaining, profound, say something with some shock value, and trying to figure out how to do that. But I feel like the gospel is simple. And I think these teachings are important because this is beyond the pews. Everything goes beyond the pews. A lot of times we blame the pastor for standing up preaching the prosperity gospel. And we talk about them so much. But we don't understand that that's what people are seeking. And because they're seeking that, if that becomes somebody's livelihood to preach prosperity gospels, to give people a hope, and Christianity tells you that that's a false hope. Now, the thing of it is, if we're following that teaching and we're not going to study for ourselves, then it's not solely on them to stop doing what they're doing, because this is how they make a living. Some of them, this is how they make their living. And I'm not saying that it's right. And the proper way to deal with false doctrine is not just to tear them down, but to tell the truth. Just tell the truth in love. Telling the truth in love is, I don't have to expose other people's shortcomings all the time. I could say, the prosperity gospel is not the way. But I can provide the truth in love and let you know what the true way is, to lead you to a true and lifelong, everlasting prosperity. Not just a prosperity that lasts for a moment, or a prosperity that in a moment's time can be taken away, or a prosperity where you're not creating legacy, and when you're gone, all that's going to be left is the stuff that people are going to be fighting for, which is going to create more chaos. Now, I know you want proof. I'm not going to give you a video full of my opinion. and fluff. I want you to hear what the word of God says. And in Deuteronomy 8:11-18, it says, be careful that you do not forget the Lord. Enough said right there. That's the biggest part of chasing material wealth. Sometimes when we do obtain it, we forget about the Lord. Then he went on to say, failing to observe his commands, his laws, and his decrees that I am giving you this day. Take care of the needy. When we're trying to figure out more ways to make money, we forget about the needs of others. We forget about getting up saying, I'm blessed. Now, who can I bless? Who can I bless? Who can I make happy? Who can I find to put a smile on their face? Not just with monetary gifts, but other gifts. Just taking your time. Taking time out of your busy schedule to help them with, maybe they just have a problem. Maybe they just want a listening ear. And you being the busy person that you are, take time to be their listening ear. That means so much to some people. Then he says, otherwise, when you eat and are satisfied, when you build the fine houses and settle down, and when your herds and flocks grow large, and your silver and gold increase, and all you have is multiplied, then your heart will become proud, and you forget the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. He led you through the vast and dreadful wilderness, that thirsty and waterless land, with its venomous snakes and scorpions. He brought you water out of hard rock. He gave you manna to eat in the wilderness, something your ancestors had never known, to humble and test you so that in the end it might go well with you. You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hands have produced this wealth for me. But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth. And so confirm his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today. And if you want more proof, there's one Bible character that exemplifies what it means to fight for real freedom. Moses chose his people over prosperity. He was in the palace. He was considered to be Pharaoh's grandson. But because he understood true wealth lies not in riches, but in freedom and purpose, he faced with the comforts of Pharaoh's palace. He recognized that the call of justice and the bond of his people were worth far more than any material gain. His heart burned with the desire to lead his people out of bondage, proving that sometimes the greatest treasure is standing up for what's right, even when it means sacrificing personal comfort. In choosing loyalty over luxury, Moses became a timeless symbol of courage. He became a timeless symbol of courage. Now, I know some nerves have been tweaked, but how do we solve this misunderstanding that families have about who's first? And as we discussed, God is first, and his promise is to keep perfect peace. Remember, we're going beyond the pews. And the power of God can elevate you to new heights of wealth and prosperity. So if greed is our motivation, we may hide from the church, but we cannot hide from God. So remember, it's not just about financial gain. It's about building a legacy rooted in faith and purpose. It is more important to be right, or is it more important to be right or keep the peace? Because every family member is important. So we should make sure that we have established a godly dynamic for the structure of how the household will be ran. Because if you throw a wrinkle in the conflict, a conflict will follow. Conflict will follow. Because as you can see, if you've never done something in your relationship with somebody and you kind of do a little switch up on them, you'll throw them for a loop. And that's going to create conflict. That's not going to create peace and harmony. So if you've never got into the attitude of, hey, my husband has to get his plate first, and then me, and then the kids. Who came up with that? Who really came up with that? And then as I was looking at this and studying it, all of this, it's so much information that will throw you for a loop, and you will end up going down a rabbit hole. Now, some people probably came up with that, hey, the parents pay for the food, but can you make that simple? Everybody get their plate at the same time. Then you don't start eating until everybody's gotten their plate, and then you pray over the food, and then you eat simultaneously. So what is it that, it is separated like that anyway? Okay, husband get his plate, he start eating. Then give your husband his plate, your children their plate. You sit your plate where you're going to sit. You sit down after everybody's gotten their plate. Nobody touches their plate. You pray, and then you simultaneously eat together as a family. So we make things difficult for ourselves when we can keep it simple, stupid. Like I said, this is beyond the pews. We can go to church and go to a worship service, and everything can seem perfect. But if at home you're starting an argument with your wife because she served the kids first, it's crazy. It's okay to go to worship service, but if you at home you're more worried about material gain, and that's your whole focus, and you're not concerned about building the kingdom up, teaching your children to love the Lord and show them that you love the Lord. You set the example. So all of your prosperity means nothing when your children end up not feeling loved and nurtured. So I hope that this video helped you, and I hope you found this video inspiring. I want you to share your thoughts and give this video a thumbs up. Share this video, because I feel like this is important to building a strong and lasting community, because the kingdom is returning soon. Jesus will return soon. And I don't think he's going to take people who love chaos with him. I don't think that's who's going to heaven. So I love you guys. Let's reprogram our thinking. Let's recover the life that the devil tries to take from us each and every day. And most importantly, God may not be there when you want him, but he'll be there in the nick of time. Oh, like I said, hit that like and subscribe button and share this video. Don't keep it to yourself.